On the outside, you would think I loved myself. On the outside, you would think I had it together. I did a lot of things to try to cover that up. I had the wake up moment that I hated myself. And when I say I hated myself, I hated every single thing about myself. I hated myself head to toe, in and out. Everything. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Janicia, and in this video I want to talk about how I used to hate myself. And when I say hate myself, but that all changed in one day. Let me give you a quick backstory. When I was 12 years old, I lost my virginity and I became sexually active. And so from about 11 on, I was obsessed with men, boys, whatever. I found my self-worth in men. That means I needed multiple men to be trying to get with me, be in a relationship with me, sleep with me. Like, I fell into depression if there was no man trying to talk to me. During this time growing up, I was smoking, drinking, sneaking into clubs. I was out here. And I was all trying to feed an emptiness that I had inside. But from my testimony video that I'm going to link, at 20 years old, I thought I was pregnant. And that was the point where I was like, I had enough. Like, this crazy, wild lifestyle has come to an end. Like, that's when I gave my life to God. And I made a vow to him that I would serve him for the rest of my life, as well as I was going to wait to marriage to have sex. So fast forward all of that. Now I am 20 years old. I gave my life to God. I'm in college, and this is the first time that I am single. Like single. No male best friends that I secretly still get attention from. No booze on the side, no boyfriend, no nothing. And this was the first time that I was alone with myself, alone with my thoughts. I now could not, get dopamine from the high I would get from being with a man or having him ooh and ah over me and try to give me the world. Like, this was the first time that I had to learn how to be content. And I didn't know how to. Like I said, I fell into depression the first time that I was single years ago. So this time, and that was only for like a month or two. This time I'm like single, and I don't know what to do. I'm going somewhere with this. Follow me. So God took me through this transformation process, and he stripped me of everything. When I say everything, all the male validation. I had to say goodbye to the male best friend because I was still getting validation from him. I moved away to college, so I had less friends. I stopped dressing seductively, and then I went natural, like my hair. Like, I was no longer putting perms in my hair to be straight. Like, I went natural. I cut all of my hair off. I have a picture, but I'm not gonna show it. I don't know if I'm ready, but my hair was like this short. So like, yeah, my hair was like this short. Like, when I say complete and utter 180 transformation process, I was a different person. So when everything was stripped off of me, everything that I held in high esteem, everything that gave me worth and value, because on the outside you would think I loved myself. On the outside you would think I had it together. You would think that I was cool, I got along with everybody, I was friends with everybody, I had not one enemy, I was good, I was popular, I was just, my life was great. I was getting every dude that I wanted, I was beautiful. Like, everything was stripped from me, especially my hair. Like, when I cut my hair off, because I had to cut my hair off because it started breaking off like crazy after a crazy hairstyle. After all of that happened, I had like no hair. I had no men. I was away from everybody who knew that I was cool. Like, after all that happened, I was left by myself, alone with my thoughts. And I had never been alone with my thoughts before. And this was the first time that I realized that I hated myself. When I was stripped down to nothing, which what it felt like, I realized I really hated myself. I did a lot of things to try to cover that up. And because I was never alone with my thoughts, I didn't know that that was there. I thought I was good. I felt like I was good. I knew how to fix it up, and so that I felt like I was good. I had the wake up moment that I hated myself. And when I say I hated myself, I hated every single thing about myself. I hated myself head to toe, in and out. Everything. I hated my personality. Like I said, I was popular, but I don't know how I got to know people, but I was an introvert, so it wasn't easy for me to, meet people. And I was realizing that as I was in college, and I had to meet all new people. And I was like, why can't I be like the class clown or the social butterfly? I'm not a social butterfly. I just meet people, and it just happened. But I'm not like this big attention drawer, and then I hated other things about my personality. I hated head to toe. I hated my hair because I went natural, cut everything off because my hair kind of just like broke off and went crazy. And I realized that I hated my texture. Like I have 4C hair. I have 4C hair. And that was the first time really knowing what that was. And I was like, I have the worst texture hair. I hated it until I learned to fall in love with it. But I hated it. I hated my skin color. If you know from songs, like nobody likes dark skin. They always talk about light skin, red ball. I was like, I have the worst skin. I'm not even really like brown skin. I'm dark skin. Even though it never played a part in having trouble pulling dudes or getting with a guy, nobody ever talked about my skin. There was one comment in middle school that always stuck with me when this girl said, "You're pretty for a dark-skinned girl." She was dark-skinned herself, so I don't even know why she said that. But that stuck with me from she may have said that when I was 13, and that was with me for the rest of my life. Like, that stuck with me, and I started to look at my skin and be like, it's ugly. Like, I just hated it. I hated my stomach. I hated my legs. I hated my feet. I hated my toes. I hated my kneecaps. I hated my elbows. I hated my arms. I hated my neck. I hated my nails. I hated my nose. The only thing I liked on my body was my lips. I liked my lips since I was 12 because I could put lip gloss on it and them things be popping. Okay, that was the only thing I liked about myself. But head to toe, in and out, I hated every single thing about myself. I hated how I would give up on things and never accomplish things. I hated all the mistakes that I had made in my life. Like, I hated everything about myself. And I remember I would get mad at God for making me like this and for all of the things that I had went through. And why did it have to happen to me? And I would get mad at him for making me this way. I was just frustrated. I was stripped down and I was frustrated. And I was angry, basically. And one day I remember I was in my college apartment and I was weeping. I was crying for hours. I was crying to God. I was like, why did you make me this way? I hate it. Why did this happen? I was just like, I was going through it for hours. I was just in my room weeping. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't go nowhere. I was depressed. And I don't know what happened, but this thought had popped in my head. Now I know it was the Holy Spirit, but in that moment, this thought popped in my head. Said, go to the mirror. So I went to my bathroom mirror, and my college bathroom mirror, it was a very big mirror. And I just stood there. Only direction that I heard was go to the mirror. So I just stood there waiting for my next direction. I'm just like, staring at myself, and I'm staring at myself, and I'm staring at myself. I don't know if this was a long time, but in the moment it felt like a long time. And I'm just staring at myself, and I'm looking at every part of me that I said that I hate, because I had already told God the list. So I'm like looking at the list in front of me, and I said, God, do you love me? And I went through my body and my personality. And I said, God, do you love my hair? And I was like, God, do you love my skin? And I had gained a few extra pounds at this point because, what they call it, the freshman 15. I wasn't a freshman no more, but they should call it the junior 30 because I added on to the 15. So I'm like, God, do you love my body? Like, I'm overweight at this point. Do you love, my personality? Do you love, like, I just listed all the things about myself. And then it changed from do you to you love me. So it wasn't like a question like, do you love this? I was like, God, you love my hair. God, you love my skin. God, you love my height. That was another thing. I hated I was short. I'm 5'2". God, you love my height. God, you love this. You love this? You love this? So thing by thing by thing, over and over, it went from I hate this to do you love this? And then I'm like, you do love this. And then I stared there some more. And then it went from God, you love this to me telling myself I love myself. Me going through thing by thing and saying, I love my hair. And then I would say I love my hair and I would just stare at my hair and I'd be like, I love my hair. And then I would go to the next thing. I'm like, I love my skin. And I would look at my skin and I'd be like, wow. And then I love my hands. And I'm like, okay, they a little chunky, but I love my hands. Like I would just go through each part of myself in and out, and I would be like, I love this. And I would take my time. Like I went through everything. The leg bone connected to the neck bone, it don't. But I would go through each thing and I'd be like, this, I love it. And literally in one day, that particular day, I have never been the same. It went from me accusing myself of being worthless and ugly and everything was wrong with me to realizing that God loved me and then loving myself. That was the day that I fell in love with myself. And I will never forget it. I can see it. Like in my mind, I can see that day. But for me to love myself, it wasn't good enough for me to just love myself. I had to know that I was made with purpose and that my creator, Jesus, God the Father, loves me. He handcrafted me. He took his time making me. He made me on purpose. He made me for a reason and he loves me. Because he loved me, he took his time hand sculpting me. He made me perfect. 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 And then when he was done, he gave me life. And I was born. 1 John 4:8 says, he who does not love does not know God, for God is love. That's how I was able to love myself, because I had to realize that I don't even know what love is, because God is love. And the only reason that I love is because he first loved me. One of my favorite scriptures is 1 Peter 2:9, and it says that you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Not only does he love me, but he created me on purpose with a purpose, and I have a purpose, and he made me royal. Something royal can't be hated. Something royal is not messed up. Ain't nothing wrong with royal. Like, I am good. I am wonderfully made. And it took standing in that mirror doing that exercise, because although I knew these scriptures before, I had read these before, they hadn't sunk inside of me until that moment. And then I got like a little bounce about myself. And I'm like, yeah, I'm royal. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. And realize that those accusatory thoughts and those thoughts of depression was not given to me by God. It was given to me by the devil. He wanted me to hate myself, because you know what he wanted me to do is take myself on out of here. Yeah. Because if God made me wonderfully made, if he hand sculpted me, if he loved me, if Jesus died on the cross for me, then obviously I'm something very precious. So would God, who believes I'm something very precious, want me to be depressed, want me to feel worthless, want me to feel ugly, want me to feel valueless, want me to feel like everything is over? Don't even make sense. And so nothing can separate me from the love of God, not height nor depth, nor nothing. The only way that separates us is us taking a step back and not believing what he actually said in his word about us. And so I encourage you, if you are feeling worthless, if you feel like you hate yourself, if you feel like there's things about yourself that you just can't live with, if something bad happened to you and you see yourself differently, like, I encourage you to just let that go and spend time with God and meditate on these scriptures. I'll leave it down in the description box, and do the same thing. Go in the mirror and just let God show you how much he loves you and love on you, and realize that and love yourself, because he didn't make a mistake on you, and he didn't make you worthless. And he didn't make you a nobody. And he didn't make you ugly. He didn't make you none of those things. It's all lies given to you by the enemy, because the enemy wants to take you on out of there too. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Jesus came that you may have life and have life more abundantly. It's the opposite of what you're thinking and feeling. So I hope this video encouraged you. If it did, please go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so, because I want to do a lot more videos like this on various topics, but especially ones that show like the realness and like the things that we actually struggle with and how to overcome those. Like I said, I hope it encouraged you, and I'll see you later. Bye.